Things seem hopeless. Well, the search for medical options, it can be time-consuming and, of course, emotionally draining. But now there's a new online tool aimed at helping caregivers and doctors and patients find treatments that would otherwise not be available. And Dr. Joe's here with more. This sounds pretty exciting. So how does it work?
It is, Cynthia. It's called the Expanded Access Navigator. And this comes from something called the Reagan-Udall Foundation. That came from a congressional mandate back in 2007. It's bipartisan, named after Ronald Reagan, who had Alzheimer's disease, of course, and more from Arizona who had Parkinson's disease. Basically, it's a one-stop shop for patients with terminal or chronic recurrent medical conditions that interfere with day-to-day life. These are patients who have exhausted other options, looking for other ways to possibly treat their illness. There was input when they created this website. American Cancer Society, FDA, physicians, multiple players at the table. There were advocacy groups. It's funded in part by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Susan B. Komen. Now, what it's going to do, it's going to list clinical trials, also pharmaceutical companies like Novartis, like you're seeing right now. It'll link you to their single patient access application, and it's basically compassionate use. We've heard that before, and it can include anything from investigational drugs, biologicals, and even medical devices.
I think it's pretty amazing that everything is in one place like that instead of you looking at websites and searching all over the place. You know, that's impressive. And you got to speak to someone, and they already are seeing activity?
They are. You know, I think they kind of had a soft launch in June, and then they kind of announced it officially last week. They're already seeing additions from some of the pharmaceutical companies. There's an increased interest from them. They're offering possible use of several new drugs, things like breast cancer, immunotherapy. And again, she also told me to go to those advocacy groups. They'll list several on there, and they can even guide you to some of the medications, to go to clinicaltrials.gov and tell you which drugs to potentially look for. But ultimately, Cynthia, your physician is going to have to be your partner. They'll have to sign off on it. You have to make sure that all of these treatments aren't riskier than the disease. And of course, there is no guarantee it's not going to cost you something, even though many of these drugs are still experimental.
Yeah, but free to look on the website.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Dr. Joe.
Thanks.
Scott?
Well, the Rays strike